Hello everyone, recently I bought this Insta360 One R with a twin edition. That means I got this one 4K lens and I got this 360 lens. I didn't have a chance to actually try out this 360 lens yet. Apparently you need to download their own software to stitch everything together, I guess. With the new update, the 4K does support MP4, but I'm not sure if the 360 does yet. I have had this camera for like 2 weeks, so in this time I didn't have a chance to actually go travel. Only once I managed to take this thing out to one of our drives, and this actually performed quite well. The battery, I'm not exactly sure how long the battery will last, because I did a 4K recording of the trip, and after 39 minutes the battery was around 50%, but my memory card was so small, so I actually ran out of memory card before actually I ran out of the battery. So anyways, I will do further test about the battery in the future when I get to go to trips again. So let me show you this one. So this thing is actually a modular design. That means like it is interchangeable, which greatly attracted me. I remember like long ago there was a concept for mobile that where you can change everything you need. Like you can change the camera, you can change the processor and upgrade accordingly, but I think I never saw that phone in like materialized, so I guess that project was scrapped. Anyways, so in this case that actually is the same case. Like you have your lens here, you got your battery here, there's I'm assuming this is the screen, and processor is also here, I'm assuming, because this part is the one that gets hot when you're recording. And so it's quite easy. You press this button and you pull, and there you go. This is your battery unit, and this you pull, you can separate the units. So it's all in all is totally like 3 separate units, and you turn it together any way you like. And this is the 360 camera, as you can see. They have another module which they co-developed with Leica. They call it, I think, 1 inch. But anyways, I haven't bought that one. I bought only these two because 4K recording, action cam recording that I wanted, and the 360. Just for fun, I never used 360. I even actually bought their invisible selfie stick. So that might be a fun experience when I get to take this thing out. They provide a nice, like, you know, protective cover for the 360 lenses, which is great, and assembling them is pretty easy for this one, because this is like only one camera setup, so it doesn't have any camera here. So actually you can interchange, like you can put it like this way, where the screen is behind and the camera is front, or you can turn it around and put it like this, with both the screen and camera in front. It works both way, but it is not the same case for this one, because as you can see, this camera has this, what they call these gaps or holes for the battery to go on both side, right? On both side it has it, but on this one only having one side, not on the both side. So that means this one only, you can only connect with this thing on the back, and this one you can set it up any way you like. And I haven't even taken out the plastic yet. And then you can just push this side here, and you press, you hear the noise, there you go, it's locked. So they say this is actually like waterproof, but according to the manual, what I understand is you cannot have the the waterproofing of the thing unless you put this in this cage, right? if you put it in this cage, only then it becomes water resistant. Something along the line I read in the user manual. All in all, it is good. Funny thing is, this camera actually records log. I actually recorded some log footage when I was out for a drive. You can see it now. So as you can see, that was the footage that I recorded with the log. And there are a few things I like to point it out. Like this is a pretty clean setup. You can see there's a power button, there is the record button, all good. But the touch user interface is a little bit wonky. It feels a little bit wonky to me. And sometimes I often found like I am pressing on the wrong option. But other than that, another thing I would like to point out that when you buy this camera, you have to activate the camera before you can use it, and to do so you need to download their app, and their app actually asks for a bunch of permission to your location, things like that. And you can I guess you can also control it with their app. One thing is like this side is where you put the memory card. This is like they could have easily made it like a door, but they didn't. They somehow some kind of design with this plastic wire that I'm pretty sure one day is going to rip. That is one of my gripe with this thing. And the second thing is, of course, that I have to download their app to activate the camera. I just want it to be out of the box and usable. Why I have to go into the app to activate is just beyond me. These 4Ks, they have a flow state stabilization which is quite good. Let's turn this thing on. So here you have quite few options to customize. For example, so first thing first, right? So if you swipe like this way, you can get into the galleries like previous recordings. You pull it like this. Here you have all the settings that you can customize according to your need, even the shutter speed or ISO, things like that. Then from here you can turn on the log. You can select wide or ultra wide according to your need, I guess. And then you have this one from top. If you go, this is another shortcuts. So you can turn on grid, you can turn on the, I guess you can turn on this one. What it does is like when you turn it around like this, it automatically turns around the menu for you. In the setting, you can have Bluetooth remote, general settings and things like that. Video encoding, they support both H.264 and H.265. Video file format, they have INSV and MP4. So with the INSV, it is their own format, I guess, where they have this flow state stabilization, but you need to open it up in their app and then export it to another format so you can work it on your computer. MP4 has the basic stabilization and everything, but you don't get that flow state stabilization. And another thing to point out here is that if you have INSV, you have greater control over this thing. For example, you have many more options. 4K, 6.4, you have, see here, as I was saying, it's very hard to get to 4K 4.3, but it option is actually activated, but I cannot get it. See, finally it worked here. It's a bit wonky, the touch screen is a bit wonky, and anyways, beside that, you can select the frame rates and everything, right? But when you when you change it to MP4, confirm, and then you have less options. Wait, it's still in a flow state. Why is that? This is weird. Okay, now I don't know why. Let me turn it on again. I don't know why, but I cannot turn off the flow state stabilization for some reason. So see here, I'm trying to change the video file format. Finally it changed. Let me see if I can show it now. So you can see now it has changed. Only 4K 16.9, 2.7K 16.9, so now you can see it has changed. 4K 16:9 and 2.7K 16:9, and even with the 4K the choices of frame rate has reduced to 3, and this one is only 30. So now let's go to 180p 30. So when you are in the basic mode or MP4, your choices are shrinked. You have a less flexibility with the customization of things, but the option is there. You can either choose MP4 and have less options to customize, or have HSV and export another file format just to work on your Final Cut or Adobe Premiere. Anyways, yeah, that's all. It's not like I'm unhappy with it. I just have not used it much, so when I use it more, I will finally be able to understand like all pros and cons and everything of the system. But this is the first time actually I'm buying Insta. I was actually going to buy GoPro, but friends in Instagram, they talked about Insta360, so I got curious. I went to the market and checked it, and it kind of piqued my interest. Anyways, thank you for watching, and if you have any question regarding this item, you can leave it in the comment. I can get back to you about it.